Can you think of a time where you meant well, but you know that your parenting did more harm than good? So, speaking of grandkids, this experience was devastating to me, but done so well that I learned from it. David and Carolee at this time were married and they had 2 boys. And I was seeking to get some moss to make some hanging baskets. And they used to go for walks in their back area in Albion. And so I thought it would be a great idea, and then I would pay them to do it. And I knew what I have to pay if I went to a flower shop, what it would be. So I just said to David, I'd like to pay them for doing that. And he said, no, you can't pay them, but they will do it. And but I disregarded that. I didn't listen. And so I gave the money to you kids, sort of behind their back. Well, David was not impressed, but he very kindly, very gently, but firmly addressed this and said to me, I know, Mom, you meant well, but you did overstep our parenting. I was humbled, but I knew it was right. And I loved the way he took manhood and did his job to cover for his own family, because he was wanting his kids to learn that you do things for others and you don't have to always get paid.
Good. So part of the question is provoke not your children to anger. And I would just like to say that I hope we never enforce something just to win an argument or to show who's boss. And not provoking your children to anger, I think it's important that we try to avoid triggers that you know will irritate your child, like criticizing their choice of friends or something like that. On the flip side of provoking your children to anger is to always treat your children fairly and equally. If you have more than one child, I think it's really important that you don't give preference to one child over another. In other words, avoid the Cinderella syndrome where the stepmother didn't treat Cinderella very well, but she treated her daughters well.
And that's sort of what I felt because of my upbringing, where my dad and mom, well, not my mom, my dad allowed the boys to play sports, but not us, and I loved sports. So I remember thinking, if I ever am blessed enough to have one of each, that they would get equal opportunity of what they want to do.